Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Monday, September 4th, 2023. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $19 rundown best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Monday in Major League Baseball. First up, the Chicago White Sox taking on the Kansas City Royals. Jesse Scholtens and Cole Ragans are your starters. I mean, since being traded from the Texas Rangers to the Royals here, Cole Ragans has been nothing short of sensational. In the month of August, he was 36 and 2/3 innings, a 1.72 ERA, 53 strikeouts, and only one home run given up. One of the best pitchers in the league, and he's the Royals have been one of the worst teams in baseball, but they're a decent 3-3 in his last 6 starts. I think the Royals win this game as well. Jesse Scholtens has been pitching well this year, 3.97 ERA, but a 1-6 record. The White Sox are 0-4 in his last 4 games, and it's not really in the best of form. He bounced back a bit in his last game against the Orioles, but before that gave up 10 earned runs combined against the A's and Rockies in 8 2/3 innings. Not great teams there. The Royals have hit righties pretty well in the last month against, especially at Kauffman Stadium, so I'm going to take Kansas City in this one on the money line. Next up, the Texas Rangers taking on the Houston Astros. We're going to see J.P. France and Andrew Heaney as your starters. J.P. France has been really sharp away from home this season. He had another good road outing. His last game was a bounce-back start against the Red Sox, a team he just gave up 10 runs against back on August 24th. He bounces back, gives up only 2 runs in 5 2/3 on the road at Fenway in a 6-2 Astros win. Overall this season, a 2.04 ERA for France on the road, 57 1/3 innings of work. The Rangers, they're just not playing great baseball right now, especially the bullpen has struggled mightily. And Andrew Heaney is also not really in the best of form. I mean, his last game was a bounce-back start against the Mets, but that's a Mets team that we know has struggled against lefties mightily this season. Last year, the Astros have been one of the best lineups in baseball against lefties. Low strikeout rate, high walk rate, good OPS numbers, ISO numbers. I gotta take the Astros in this one on the money line. Next up, we see the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Oakland Athletics. Jose Barrios and Ken Waldichuk are your projected starters. I'm going to take the A's here plus the 1.5 runs, sprinkle a bit on the money line. I mean, Ken Waldichuk's been a lot better at home this season than on the road. On the road, an ERA above 7. At home, an ERA of 4.4. Decent numbers, 50 2/3 innings, 56 strikeouts, pretty low opponent's batting average, only 8 home runs given up as well. So I think, Waldichuk, a decent option on the mound, facing a Blue Jays team coming off a Coors Field series. And Jose Barrios has not been a very profitable pitcher, similar to a guy like Kevin Gausman in the last 2 months or so. I mean, the Blue Jays are 0-4 in his last 4 starts. They're 1-5 his last 6 starts. So to me, there's value with the Oakland A's here. Give me the Oakland A's plus the 1.5. Next up, we see the San Francisco Giants taking on the Chicago Cubs. Logan Webb and Justin Steele are your starters. I'm going to go with a bit of a contrarian over in this game. I know both these starting pitchers are the aces for their respective rotations, but Logan Webb's not pitched well on the road this season, an ERA just below 5. The Cubs bullpen, not the best expected numbers in the last month. We saw Chicago put up 15 runs on Sunday. Their offense is red hot, so I do think the Cubs get to Webb. I think the Giants, a team that hasn't been great against lefties, will probably struggle early on against Justin Steele. But like I said, the Cubs bullpen a little bit concerning going forward, I think regression-wise. And when you look at the weather report, it looks like, it's the night before, so we'll have to see the morning of, but it looks like the wind's going to be blowing out to center field right around 12 miles per hour. So decent weather for the hitters, an afternoon game here at Wrigley. Give me the over here in San Francisco, Chicago. Next up, we see the Boston Red Sox taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Brian Bayo and Aaron Savale are your starters. I would say Tampa Bay has a slight advantage in the starting pitching matchup, a significant advantage in the bullpen, and also a slight advantage in the lineup. As Aaron Savale in good form, the Rays are 4-0 in his last 4 starts, 14 Ks and no walks his last 10 innings of work against the Marlins and Rockies. Brian Bayo, is still somebody I would consider a ground ball pitch-to-contact specialist, still having issues with the home run ball, giving up 2 homers in his last start against Houston. And the Rays, very tough lineup to face as a right-handed pitcher these days, very good OPS numbers and isolated power numbers in the last month. Like I said, I think the Rays bullpen is also more trustworthy. So even though I have some concern with both of these starting pitchers, I like the Tampa Bay Rays in this matchup at Tropicana Field. Next up, the Colorado Rockies taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Peter Lambert and Merrill Kelly are your starters. I'm going to lean towards Arizona here, lay the 1.5 runs. The Diamondbacks are huge favorites, so there's really not a lot of value in a game like this, but I still think Kelly's a much better option on the mound. Diamondbacks bullpen's not great, but neither is the Rockies, so I do think Arizona will be able to score some runs early and late. And the Rockies have been one of the worst teams in baseball on the road this year, 21-48 overall on the road. I'm going to take Arizona here and a lean, lay those 1.5 runs. Next up, the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Brian Wu for Seattle, no official starter for Cincinnati. I'll lean towards Seattle in this game. Brian Wu's been better on the road this season, believe it or not, than at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners had a disappointing season, I would say, at Citi Field, losing the series, losing the first game and the third game. But this has still been one of the best teams in baseball in the second half of the season, one of the hotter lineups in baseball, one of the better bullpens in the league. So I think Seattle gets the job done on the road. Cincinnati dealing with some issues in the pitching staff, with the COVID issues and also just not having a great bullpen last month. The ERA is not bad, but the expected numbers are fourth highest SIERA in the league. So regression concerns. Give me the Seattle Mariners on the money line. Next up, we see the Minnesota Twins taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Lucas Giolito makes his Guardians debut, and we're going to see Pablo Lopez on the other side for Minnesota. Now, Lucas Giolito, Matt Moore, and Reynaldo Lopez were picked up by the Guardians on waivers from the Angels. And, Lucas Giolito was a big-time trade deadline acquisition for Los Angeles. They had a lot of expectations going into the trade deadline. They struggled afterwards, and they just put basically everybody up on waivers, Hunter Renfroe included. Giolito really struggled as a member of the Angels. Had an ERA above 7 in the month of August, and 27 and a third innings in August, 8 home runs given up as well, including 3 in his last game against the Phillies. It's tough to back Giolito here, even though he's pitched really well against these Twins this season with, I think, a 1 ERA throughout a few outings. It's still, this Twins offense is starting to heat up against right-handed pitching, power-wise, OPS-wise. I know they have a high strikeout rate, but I think they'll be able to get to Lucas Giolito here. And Pablo Lopez has been a lot better on the road this season than at Target Field. I think this matchup benefits him. Even though he's struggled against the Guardians this season, I think he's good enough in this game. The Twins lineup really tough to go against right now. Give me Minnesota. Next up, we see the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the San Diego Padres. Taijuan Walker and Rich Hill are your projected starters. I'm going to go with the Phillies in this matchup. I know at the beginning of the season, Taijuan Walker pitched a lot better at Citizens Bank Park than on the road, but look at his last 4 road games, all wins for Philadelphia. His last road start was on July 31st. It was 6 2/3 innings of 2-run ball against the Marlins and a 4-2 win. Before that, on July 5th against the Rays, 7 innings of 4-run ball, decent. Kept the Phillies in the game. They won that one 8-4. Before that, on June 29th, 6 innings, 1 run, 3-1 win over the Chicago Cubs. Tough team there. And then against the Oakland A's on June 16th, 8 innings of 1-run ball on the road and a 6-1 Phillies win. Walker has been a winning machine for Philadelphia this year, a profit machine as well. In August, 3-1 record the Phillies were. In July, 4-1. In June, 5-1. He has been winning a lot of games for the Phillies. And, Rich Hill on the other side, don't love him in this spot. Tough lineup for Philadelphia, decent bullpen. Give me the Phillies. Next up, we see the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're going to see Corbin Burnes for Milwaukee, no official starter for Pittsburgh. Corbin Burnes has faced the Pirates twice this season, 13 innings of work, a 1-0 record with a 2.77 ERA, 12 strikeouts, and only 3 base hits given up in those games. I think he pitches well in this one. The Brewers lost a disappointing game on Sunday, losing the lead late to Philadelphia. But still, this Brewers team, I think, has the much better bullpen, the better starting pitcher, the better lineup. And they played so well in this particular season series and in this particular matchup in the last couple of years. The Brewers leading the season series 7-3. And that's a big reason why Milwaukee is in first place still in the NL Central. They played so well in the division against the opponents and their rivals in the division. So give me Milwaukee on the run line on the road. And your final game for Monday's card in Major League Baseball, the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Angels. Grayson Rodriguez and Kenny Rosenberg are your starters. Grayson Rodriguez in good form. He's still got that ERA above 5 on the season, but not pitching like that. As of late, his last 5 starts, 3 earned runs or fewer. Going deeper into ball games, makes it 4 straight quality starts after his last game against Chicago, which was 6 innings of 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeout baseball in a 9-0 Orioles win. Rosenberg, an ERA above 6 on the season, more of a bullpen game, I would say, for Los Angeles. We know this bullpen's not been good. They lost 2 big relievers, Matt Moore and Reynaldo Lopez to waivers. I'm going to take the Orioles here, lay the 1.5 runs on the road. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.